Hi everyone, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's Vin PF, and on today's episode we are renewing the channel after a 2-month absence. Now, a massive apology to everybody for the 2-month absence, but as you can see, things have changed a little bit around here. There might be a few little micro adjustments I need to do. It might be a touch echoey for you, but I'm going to be doing some changes slowly throughout the next couple of months as I put up some foam and stuff like that. But welcome to the slightly new look No Nonsense Whisky. As you can see, the angle is still relatively the same, but this is a new colour behind here. This is a new angle. I've got a new desk over here so I can start doing some more things. I've got some room up here to sort of show you stuff. Also, I've moved the lights around a little bit. Unfortunately, there's some debris up on the thing here, but we'll see what we can do about that. But now I'll be able to show you things up close without it getting washed out by the light. So today, I am back, and hopefully you'll all enjoy me being back on your YouTubes. And I've got something very special to open up. And a friend lent me this bottle. This is the Craigellachie 21 year from Douglas Laing Old Particular. Now, anyone who follows the channel will know that I have recently also covered another from Craigellachie, and that was the 12 year. I got this one from my Somerton Club subscription. This one was about £50. This one was about 72 on Master of Malt, but I think it might have been more beforehand. We don't know. But I thought I would cover these, mainly because a friend lent me this and I want to get it back to him. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk about things that are the same but very, very different. So you could be forgiven for thinking that the Craigellachie 12 year and the Craigellachie 21 are in fact the same liquid but a little bit older. This one's, 9 years older, but that isn't the case in this situation. Thankfully, my good pals at Douglas Laing give us lots of extra information so that we can kind of delve a little bit deeper. So for those interested, I'll show you the 21 that I've got. Now I can do this, and you can see what I've got. Bit blurry, but we'll see about that later. This one is the DL11343 cask, which is a sherry butt. Interesting. So this one was distilled in September 1995 and bottled in September 2016. Whereas this was matured in a refill hogshead. So 2 different kinds of barrels. We'll talk about that later. Probably should say cask, not barrel, but either or. And this is DL12940, if you're interested to look this up. I couldn't find this on Master of Malt, so I think it might have been a special bottling or at least a limited bottling. 358 bottles of this one. So, as you can see, 2 very different colours. This one is more lighter straw-like. This one has a little bit more of a golden colour to it. Now, a few things that we'll need to be interested in with the different cask types here. As I said, we have a hogshead and we have a sherry butt. Now, the big thing here is a sherry butt is a lot larger than the hogshead. Now, the sherry butt is about 500 litres and the hogshead is about 250, so about half. That's going to make a massive influence on how much liquid is touching the wood. So in theory, the smaller barrel should kind of age, if you like, a bit quicker, depending on other things. Now, the other thing to think about as well is that the distillation date between these, September 1995 for the 21 and November 2006, that's a good, 11 years in between the two. We don't know if they're using the same sort of techniques, if they're using the same kind of heads, hearts and tails of the liquid. We don't know what the conditions were like on that day. We don't know what barley they were using. It could be totally different. It's probably going to be similar. Suppliers don't change that wildly, but there are a lot of different barleys out there, and that's a whole nother topic for another day. So although these are the same distillery and are bottled by the same people, 2 different cask types, 2 different decades, and potentially 2 different liquids that even went into it in the first place. So they need to be judged very independently. The reason why I like to bring this up is because of things like, like Glenfiddich is another example. Everyone knows Glenfiddich. The 12 year isn't the same liquid as the 15 year. It isn't the 12 year plus another 3. The 15 is made in a totally different way and probably is the same build quality, when they're putting it all together, but the actual maturation process is entirely different. If you want to know more about that, you can check out my videos on the Glenfiddich 15. But let's get into tasting this thing. I've rabbited on enough. Just excited to be back talking to you guys. So let's try the 12 year again. Now I've recently covered this, and I say recently in terms of video number, but it was about 2 months ago now. Now this one has a very, very kind of straw, cut grassy vibe to it. It almost smells a little youthful, which is interesting, but it's not. It's obviously 12 years, very nice. I like this a lot. Now, it's got a lot of honey notes and some citrusy notes to it as well. It is really quite nice. It's one of those ones that finishes with a kind of real typical space ID, kind of orchards, apples, pears, that kind of thing. Now, let's have a look at this one here. I'll bring this a bit closer, probably off shot. Bring this a bit closer, there you go. So this one is now in the sherry butt, so a lot larger. Now, oh, it's so good. I mean, there's a big percentage difference as well, I should probably add. This one is 48.4, the 12, and the 21 is 51.5, so that's a little bit of a difference. Little bit. So, 21, although the characteristic of the malt is still there, obviously this is a little bit more refined, a little mustier. It's kind of there's a little touch of like old books in there. Very nice and fruity still. Some of that sherry element coming through. But the palate, that's where this thing really shines. The higher ABV mixed in with a load more of those sherry notes that you don't really get on the 12. We're talking about dried fruits, that kind of fruitcake vibe. Maybe even a touch treacly. Pushing it. But for me, absolutely fabulous dram. Now, I was perfectly happy with this 12 at £50. This is how much I paid for this. When I found out this was like 70, I'm less happy. I mean, I'm still very happy with this. It's really good whiskey. But for an extra 20, you can't argue with the quality of this. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big fan of Douglas Laing. Cover a lot of their stuff. But this, I'm so glad my friend lent me this, because I don't think I would have took the plump. For £70, it's a lot of money, but really, it's perfectly worth it. Perfectly worth it. So there you go. That's the end of this first review back on, maybe, I guess you could call it season 3 almost. I don't know, season 3 should hopefully be a lot longer, but we'll talk about more breaks maybe next year. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the setup. The sound is probably a little bit skew-iff, but bear with me. I'm going to be bringing that back in slowly as we go along. If there's anything you think I can change, little things I'm probably going to be adding are some lights and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to take me a while. It's Christmas. Money is a little bit tight and that kind of stuff, but we'll see what we can do. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video and you can hit the like button and let me know. Let me know if you don't like it. Still, chuck it in the comments and we'll talk and see what we can do. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again on another No Nonsense Whisky video.